How did Master P build his empire? I will be diving into the music, entrepreneurship, and investment ventures made by him to build it. Master P is one of the most requested people to cover on this channel. I have briefly talked about some investments by him sprinkled across my channel because he does partner with many artists, like recently Snoop Dogg with Broadest Foods, to build his portfolio. It's only right that Master P gets an in-depth video breaking down his empire. Starting with some background, Master P, born Percy Robert Miller, is a Southern hip-hop legend growing up in Louisiana, eventually leading him to success both in front of and behind the scenes. Born in 1970, Master P would grow up with three passions early on in his life: basketball, business, and music. Two of those he would pursue seriously after high school, being business and music. He did have a basketball athletic scholarship to play at the University of Houston, but would only be there for a few months before transferring to Merritt College in Oakland to study business administration. This would lead to the opening of No Limit Records in the late 80s, which originally was just a record store. However, through seeing what his customers were interested in musically, this led to the transformation from a record store to a record label. One of my favorite stories of Master P is from the 90s when he paid $25,000 to meet Michael Jackson's lawyer to understand music deals behind the scenes to set himself up for better ownership/success. All throughout Master P's life, he has been using every resource he can find that will help better himself and his businesses, which is still very prevalent today. Let's dive into his empire, starting with music. Going into music, Master P has released over 30 projects throughout his career, with 15 of those being studio albums. In total, from his studio albums, he has sold over 8 million albums worldwide, going multi-platinum with albums like MP The Last Dawn, Ghetto D, and Ice Cream Man. He has also gone platinum with soundtrack albums for the movies I'm 'Bout It and I Got the Hookup. What is interesting to note here is that Master P does have lower album sales compared to some of the artists I have talked about in these empire videos like Jay-Z or Dr. Dre, but what is important is that throughout all of this, Master P has kept ownership of his music, which has maximized his returns. That comes into play with him owning No Limit Records, which we will get into in a moment. His debut album, Get Away Clean, was released in 1991, and it would take a few years for him to see the success he would go on to seeing. His first platinum album, Ice Cream Man, released in 1996, would really jumpstart his music empire he was building towards. Master P has been vocal about how cross-promotion played a big part into his musical success. By this, he means he was able to use his music to sell other products, including artists on the label, films, and his business ventures. He knew that using the fans he was building up, he could increase his sales in other areas because they were already familiar with him and more likely to cross over. Master P found success for himself in his own music career, but he built an empire starting with his record label. Now, talking about Master P's label situation, this is really where he built the fortune he needed to become the business mogul he is today. As I mentioned before, Master P would start off his label as just a record store, No Limit Records and Tapes, in the late 80s. After running these stores successfully and seeing what customers were purchasing, he realized there was a space to release his own music to gain traction. This would then start the transition from record store to record label in 1990, which would be the move that would bring in hundreds of millions. On the label were his brothers Seek the Shocker and C Murder, who would appear as a trio with Master P in the True Group. Other members on the No Limit label included Mystical, Mia X, Soulja Slim, and Snoop Dogg. So what made No Limit so successful? In Master P's recent explanations, he compared what he did to what Marvel has done in the past decade. Everything on his label was connected. Artists were heavily cross-promoted on all projects, pushing listeners to not just like one artist on the label, but to be interested in the label as a whole, the No Limit universe. Marketing was key, and you could see that reflected in all these similar cut and paste album covers for artists, creating a unanimous brand across the label. So when you saw an artist like Snoop Dogg, of course finding major success on Death Row before No Limit, release an album with the same style marketing, the connections would easily be made, gaining more interest around the album and No Limit. The marketing was only just one piece that made No Limit successful. Master P learned the breakdowns of music deals to better understand how to set himself and his label up for maximum returns. We saw an example of this with paying Michael Jackson's lawyer $25,000 to better understand distribution deals to set up higher returns on their projects. Master P would use the leverage he built up to negotiate the best deals for himself and the label, which would often lead to No Limit owning all of the music, maximizing the return. For example, just in 1998, with 23 released albums and 15 million copies sold under No Limit, that would bring in $160 million back to the label, and that was just 1 year. No Limit's success would not last forever, with the label filing for bankruptcy in 2003. To be clear, Master P was no way broke. By the time the label filed for bankruptcy, he was moved on to his other major business ventures. There were many internal family conflicts that led to the downfall, as well as some issues with quantity over quality. Since then, No Limit has been revamped many times, now under the name No Limit Forever. With being able to see the rise and fall of the empire that is No Limit, many more modern labels like QC, Home to the Migos took notes and built their brand in a similar strategy, seeing what worked and what didn't while adapting that to the music industry today. Overall, when we talk about Master P's label situation with No Limit Records, this was really where he made the majority of money he needed to venture outside of music. He set himself and his label up to own their music, maximize their returns, and create a legacy that is studied today. Master P took the lessons he learned to build this empire, like cross promotion, to be used into his entrepreneurship and investment ventures. Diving into entrepreneurship, this has been prevalent throughout Master P's entire life, and we saw that start with No Limit Records and tapes, then turning into the label itself. That was just one area of entrepreneurship, as Master P is a serial entrepreneur with many companies, and there will be no way I can cover them all, so here are some heavy hitters for him. For entrepreneurship, one industry that has been a big part throughout Master P's career is clothing. In the earlier stages of his career, that came from No Limit Clothing, which had items blow up in retail stores, really anywhere that carried graphic tees. Now the product lines formed through No Limit Clothing have shifted towards a newer entrepreneurship venture through Money Yachty. Money Yachty is a fashion brand focusing more on high-end shoe wear, but still carrying products for everyone, including that No Limit gear. This allows Money Yachty to bring in consistent money through well-established product lines while growing in a newer space with shoes and newer products. A new entrepreneurship partnership I touched on in a past video a few weeks back was with Snoop Dogg and Broadus Foods. In August 2022, it was announced that Master P and Snoop Dogg partnered together to release the product Snoop Loops under Broadus Foods. The plan for this company is to be a grocery conglomerate similar to a Kellogg Foods, to buy/create new products to take over the industry. To do this, Broadus Foods is launching multiple breakfast lines to start small and grow in grocery. As I mentioned in my Snoop Dogg video on this, two companies own 60% of the grocery space, so it is hard to break into, but it will be worthwhile, especially with the purpose of empowering minority-owned food brands. Master P does have more products outside of Broadus Foods that can be found in grocery, which include Master Crunch, his spin on Captain Crunch, Uncle P's, which has products in rice, beans, and pancake mix. He also has his own ice cream with LA Great Snow Cone. This is just a quick highlight to showcase Master P's serial entrepreneurship, continuously creating new products and bringing them to market. In 2019, Master P would launch his new restaurant franchise, Big Papa Burgers, with the first location in New Orleans. The restaurant focuses on over-the-top toppings on burgers, leaving customers with a delicious mom-and-pop shop meal. As this is a franchise, a second location has been announced in Nashville, which starts the spread across the nation. It makes sense why Master P would open the first two locations in places he is prominent in to drive more business. What will be interesting is to see where new locations may open up outside his typical reach. A reputable brand is being built up first, which will be needed to expand further. When talking about my favorite section, investments, the first thing we need to start off with is his investment firm, P. Miller Enterprises. This is an overarching investment firm that controls many of his accounts in a similar way you would see any professional investment firm handle business. P. Miller Enterprises is to Master P like Marcy Ventures is to Jay-Z. So when going through Master P's investments, just keep in mind that they are under P. Miller Enterprises. Master P is invested in the automotive automotive industry, not with just owning cars, but manufacturing cars. In 2021, Master P invested into Treon, which is said to be the first black-owned supercar company. Treon was founded by Richard Patterson, who is an ex-Tesla engineer and has had some major accomplishments from his tenure in the automotive industry. The Nemesis line of cars have been on the market since 2016, and as technology improves, Treon looks to be in the forefront. This is a great investment for Master P as electric vehicles are being implemented more and more. Master P has a front seat in a growing niche of that, electric supercars. Another major investment into Master P's portfolio is through the company Wrap Snacks. Wrap Snacks was founded in 1994 by James Lindsay and would have a prominent run in the late 90s and early 2000s. However, in 2016, the company was revamped with new product lines which Master P would get involved in on the ground level. A product he released through the company was Wrap Noodles, similar to chips but with ramen. As Wrap Snacks and the collective products have been growing through strong distribution into mom and pop shops and major retailers, the company looks to expand and take over the grocery market. Master P and James Lindsay had an awesome conversation with the podcast Earn Your Leisure last year, talking about the worldwide purpose of Wrap Snacks, which provided so much insight into the plans of the company, making the products for everyone but giving back throughout the process. Go check that podcast episode out. Wrap Snacks is a massive investment into Master P's portfolio because this is an established and growing company that will have high earning potential. This investment also opens up doors and connections for his other grocery ventures that are found in his investment portfolio, like Broadest Foods. Within Master P's massive investment portfolio is a strong section dedicated to real estate. His real estate investment in property management company PM Properties is home to over 100 investments, including residential and commercial real estate. That number is insane and is a great way to maintain/grow his wealth. Master P has talked about finding more ways to build a community, which may include buying grocery stores and other properties around what he already owns. Real estate is just one way Master P has maintained and grown his wealth while expanding elsewhere. Overall, when talking about Master P's investments in entrepreneurship ventures, we see a very diverse portfolio with clothing, restaurants, supercars, real estate, and a big focus on grocery. Master P is known for his master merchandiser/marketing skills, which have contributed to his success in multiple facets. Entrepreneurship and investments have been prevalent throughout all of Master P's career that set himself up to make hundreds of millions building an empire. One thing I wanted to quickly mention that contributed to Master P's success was his acting and production. Throughout his career, Master P has been featured on screens, big and small, over 70 times, which were also a vessel to cross-promote his other businesses and music. Many of his early films were direct-to-DVD movies coming from No Limit Films, which was a branch to his record label. His first movie in 1997, I'm 'Bout It, would kickstart his acting and film production career to create this extra source of income while gaining a new way to grow his empire. What is the takeaway from Master P? While there can be many answers to that question, I think one that is highlighted most in this video is his use of cross promotion to be successful in many different avenues. Being able to cross promote your business ventures, your brands, is what can create a dedicated audience while widening your scope. In Master P's case, he used cross promotion for the artists on his label to grow that empire. He does a similar thing with his products, all being able to be related back to him as a brand. This can be applied possibly if you're a business, cross promoting different product lines. Maintain and expand your audience through cross promotion. This leads me to the question, what is next for Master P? As for music, Master P does not release music as often as he once did, with an album every few years, as his mind has been focused more on his business. There has been a big focus specifically in the grocery industry for what we have seen from his personal ventures, Broadest Foods, and Wrap Snacks. I believe we will see more products be released by these three ventures, as well as new segments within grocery, as Master P wants to flood the market again, similar to what he did with No Limit. Master P understands the need of a diverse portfolio, so I believe we will continue to see investments into outside ventures, either established or startup companies and keep his real estate investments growing. What is next for Master P? Flooding the market with new ventures, creating opportunities for himself and his community. In summary, Master P has built an empire for himself and his family through cross promotion. This started with building his successful label, No Limit Records, which grew to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars back to the label from cross promoting artists and excellently negotiated deals. His legendary run with No Limit has been studied by newer labels today on how to be successful. Same with Master P, as he took what he learned from that empire and has been transferring it over into his other business ventures. Now we see the big focus with grocery, flooding the market and creating cross-promotional products. Master P is a master marketer, which has brought him success in many industries, too many that could even fit in this video. With all of this, Master P is building a legacy for himself, his family, creating opportunities for them and his community. And that is how Master P built his empire. I hope you found this video informational. Please leave a like and subscribe, as well as let me know who I should talk about next. I appreciate everyone who recommended Master P. This was way overdue. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.